What's going on, AP Human Geography e-learning students? Mr. Majewski going to give you a quick run through of week 5 and the assignments that you have ahead of you. Okay, we're going to start out obviously with the weekly learning journal. Now, hey, I have made a few changes to this assignment, so hopefully you've been paying attention to it. I really only want you to write the paragraphs at the end now, and to be honest with you, I'm really just thinking one paragraph from this point forward. So if you just want to write one weekly reflective paragraph at the end of the week, based on kind of what you learned, based on one of these 3 topics, I am fine with that. And we use those for attendance-based purposes and things like that. Then, let's get into 5.2. This is the nuts and bolts. Alright, this is the big unit for the week, or the big subunit. So, first off, we're going to have a video to watch based on these slides. So the 5.2.1a is the YouTube video. It is an hour long. It's one of the longer videos you've had. Well, it is the longest you've had so far. And then here's the PowerPoint that goes with it, 5.2.1b. So you should be watching the video, going through the slides on your own when you need to see them in greater detail. And then while you are doing that, you're going to be completing 5.22a, this development review assignment. And it looks like this. Now, obviously, you're going to need to download it as my document up here, right, so that you can edit it and submit it back to me. It looks like this. Now, what I want to point out to you is for part A, you're going to skip that entirely, all right, or at least you're going to do that last. And instead you're going to come down here, and as I go through the indicators that determine what HDI is, you're going to plug the economic indicator in here and give a brief description. Then in this middle box you're going to plug in the social indicators that make up HDI, and there are 2 of them. There's 1 economic, 2 social, and then there's 1 demographic indicator that makes up HDI. And you're going to just write each of those in there, or type each of those in there. And then you are going to kind of provide key information or a definition of it. Then down here we have the economic indicators of HDI that are not in, I should say economic indicators that are not in HDI, and you're just going to list each of them down here as well. Then you're going to do the same with the social indicators that are in the video or slides. And then finally, you'll do that for the demographic/health indicators. So by the end of the video, you're going to have this box filled in with the indicators that make up HDI, and then down here you're going to have these boxes filled up with the economic, the social, and the demographic/health that are used to measure development but are not used in the HDI index. Second page, you're going to be introduced to a second indication system. It's called GII. It measures gender inequality. You're going to plug in the indicators that are used to determine a country's score for that. There'll be, and I believe there is 1 economic, 2 empowerment, and 2 demographic indicators that will need to be put in there. After you are finished with the GII indicators, now you come down to the bottom of the page, and you take a country here, focus country A, and then you pick a separate country from this list, focus country B. And then you're going to find information about those countries and plug them into the spaces here on this page. So now we would come back after we've watched the video and gone through the slides, and we would access the HDI report here link, and we're going to need the GII report as well eventually. And that's going to take us to HDI. Let's display 100 countries at a time, and let's find whatever country we selected from list A. And look at this. When we select it, it tells us what its HDI is, and then it tells us its score, or I should say its results, for each of the 4 indicators. Alright, so that we can take that information and then we can plug it in here, right? First off, we've got the name, right, and the region that it belongs in. Then for the 4 indicators, right, we're going to plug in their score for each of them. So we're going to list the I'm not going to tell you. We're going to list the dollar amount there. And we're going to list the years here, and we're going to list the years here as well. The number, we're going to put the numbers there. Well, we'll do the same thing for GII. All right, you'll notice there is a link If you look back here at GII as well, you'll do the same thing. You'll get the information for GII, and you'll plug it in the lines underneath the box on the second page right here. All right. So again, let's get that done, and then you're going to submit it back to me as an assignment. Moving along, you will be looking at some other indicators that are used. And I give you a big list of them and ask you to basically investigate a couple of these other indicators and try to determine what the trends have been over the last, few decades related to that topic. So again, that's going to conclude the 5.2 folder. You're going to click on the assignment there, and then you're going to have a list of links to go to, and you're going to pick a couple of these and analyze the results in a little greater detail so you can learn about some of these other measures of development that are not in HDI. We also have a really awesome HDI map that I'm going to have you investigate that is super up to date and looks fantastic. All right, very good. After we are done with 5.2, we obviously come right back now to 5.3. That's where we apply some concepts here. We have some vocab, all right, and I'm going to have a really short 10-question vocab quiz. I guess it's 11 questions. And so you'll need to know these things. Now, good news, all of these things are part of the PowerPoint and slides that we go through as part of the 5.2 assignment. So you'll need to know those this week, right, 1 through 11, and then next week you'll need to know 12 through 23. So make sure you know these because there is a vocab quiz on them as part of this week's work. Again, just watch the PowerPoint video and go through the slides, and you'll know all of those terms after that. All right. Back to our 5.3 assignments. Oh, cool. We're going to be creating infographics using Adobe Spark, right? The assignment is here. It's going to basically tell you what you need to do. Let's go to the assignment because it's one of the bigger ones this week. Going to go to Adobe Spark. I give you instructions as to how to log on. You're going to create an infographic, right, using your focus countries that you just gathered data on as part of the 5.2 assignments. You're going to create two infographics, one for each country, and you can either choose to compare their HDI info. So for country A and country B, you could look at the HDI and display their results along with the indicator results for them. So you can see a more developed country and a less developed country right next to each other. Or you can compare their GII results, so you can compare how much inequality there is in those countries. Or you can pick one of your two focus and you can compare its HDI with its GII if you consider those results to be interesting. So again, you have a number of options here as to how you want to proceed. And there are some specific requirements. Make sure you read them. You have to have a couple of visuals on your infographics. For each country, you need to try to have a few vocabulary words in there as well. And you need to have your name on the infographics as well. Now, I show you how to access Adobe Spark. All right, and I'm going to show you what Spark will look like. I actually even, I think, if I'm not mistaken, give you a sample infographic that you can look at that I kind of partially completed. Yes, here it is. And there you go. HDI of country A. The HDI is, right? I'm going to define what it is up here and then say what the number is. GNI per capita. I'm going to put the number there. Average years of education. I would put the number there. Right? You have the freedom to choose whatever format you want. But try to personalize it. Try to make it look unique. And then you're not only going to do one for country A, you're going to need to do one for country B as well. And, you know, the way to do this, by the way, folks, is you just come up to Adobe Spark, and I show you how to log in as part of the instructions. And you're just going to be able to, let me go create a new project here for us. You just click on the plus there. All right, and then just scroll down until you get to poster. All right, I think poster is the best bet here. And then you're going to be able to create and design in whatever way that you want. So you can kind of do whatever you want. This is the preset template that they give to you. But, you know, you can add text boxes if you'd like. You know, Majewski. Right? You can do that, or look at that, and it'll create it for you. You can make these things larger or smaller. And you have a lot of different options to use here. You can, different colors, right, for your text. You can have different shapes. You can have effects, right? You can have different styles. I think one of the cool things is, of course, you can add photos, right? And photos would be to the back of an area. So you can add photos, and they even have free ones that you can use. So, I don't know, how about something geographic, world. Alright, I don't know why I went cat. That's kind of weird. Okay, sure, whatever. Look at that, boom. Alrighty. And then you can, you know, add text. You can add icons or logos. Icons are like, you can type something in and you'll get some clip art for it that you can add onto there as well. So anyways, try to personalize it, try to make it visually dynamic. Take a look at the instructions. It's a big assignment this week. One for each of your countries. Try to keep the same format for both. So remember, you have a lot of different styles that you can use, right? And if you want to, you know, you have a lot of different setups with text boxes and stuff. So try to display it in a really beautiful and dynamic way. I think that will definitely improve the overall look. All right. And again, I give you a sample here for you to look at as part of the assignment. And then finally, textbook and weekly check. So listen, if you watch the video, you probably don't need to do the reading this week. But if you really want to be sure, you should do the reading, because the slides really cover most of what's in the reading, but the reading adds on to it. I've added some reading guides if you want to kind of direct your reading to see if you're picking up the key info. But those are optional. You don't have to do those, and I won't collect them. Finally, we have a vocab quiz this week. That's terms 1 through 11. Remember, I mentioned that there would be a quiz on those. So watch the video, the lecture video, and then take the quiz. And then we have a weekly slide/reading quiz, right? So this is where you apply the information from this week and or from the reading if you choose to do that, and see how you do on a review quiz. All right, finally, the very last thing this week are our regular map quizzes. So we have 3 of them: our detailed world, our North America, our South America. You guys know the deal. Take them when you're ready. Practice as many times as you need to before. All right, Mr. M, signing out. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.